Hello, hey there. Welcome to Bible Study with Angela. Thank you so much for popping on over and checking out this video. If this is your first time to stop by my channel, my name is Angela and I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that you will subscribe and give me a big thumbs up down below. In today's study, we're talking about biblical friendship. At the root of every great friendship is love. Merriam-Webster says that love is a strong affection for another, arising out of kinship or personal ties. The Strong's Concordance tells us that the meaning of the word charity in 1 Corinthians 13 is affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, and brotherly love. You may or may not know that there are actually different kinds of love in the Bible. In the Greek, the words for two different types of love are Philadelphia and agape. And I'm probably not pronouncing them properly, but I believe those are the most common pronunciations. Philadelphia is human love, while agape is God's love. There is no deeper, stronger love on the face of the earth than God's love. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 4. I'm going to read this in the New International Version. It says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails." And I'm going to stop right there. I haven't even finished verse number 8, but that's as far as our study is going to take us today. So those are some pretty good descriptions of really what love actually is. David and Jonathan, their story is very well known as being such a great example of true friendship and loyalty. I want us to read a little portion of their story here in 1 Samuel 23:16. And just to share a little bit of their story before we read these verses, Saul was Jonathan's father, and he knew that David had been anointed to be king in his place, and he was very angry with David. And so I'm talking for 20 years, Saul sought to trouble David and to take his life. He wanted David to be killed because he did not want David taking over his kingship. But Jonathan did not allow his father's sins and his father's wrongness and wickedness to stop him from doing the right thing. And even though Jonathan's father, Saul, did not like David and wanted to kill him, Jonathan did the right thing, and he honored his friend, and he was faithful to his friend. Listen to the kind of friendship that they have here in 1 Samuel 23. Verse 16, "And Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh and helped him find his strength in God." That is a true friend. I don't know about you, but that is definitely the kind of friend that I want to have. The kind of friend that will strengthen me in God. Let me just say to you that if you have friends in your life that are not strengthening you in the Lord, they are not true friends. You need to look for different friends. So let's read verse number 17. This is what Jonathan says to David. "Don't be afraid," he said. "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You will be king over Israel, and I will be second to you. Even my father Saul knows this." Verse 18, the two of them made a covenant before the Lord. Then Jonathan went home, but David remained at Horesh. So Jonathan is such a faithful friend to David, to the point that they made a covenant together. I want to read another verse here. It's Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up." It's important to have good friends. But more than anything, it's important to have true friends. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." I hope that you'll hear what I'm saying, that if you are friends with someone that is pulling you away from God, pulling you away from the things of God, you need to really reconsider that friendship. It's not worth the harm that it might bring into your life, the toxicity that it might bring into your life. Hebrews 3:13, "But encourage one another daily as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness." So again, we're seeing the importance of being the friend and having a friend that encourages us in the Lord. Proverbs 17:19, "Anyone who loves to quarrel loves sin. Anyone who trusts in high walls invites disaster." Arguing, debating, these types of things, they are not what builds true friendship. They are not what helps true friendship. So if you're a person that likes to argue and debate, you need to pray that God will strengthen you to use some self-control, because really those things can tear apart friendships. They might seem, fun and okay in the moment, but they really can become the devices of the enemy, because in a weak moment when you're really struggling and things are not going so well, those things that once used to be enjoyable can now become offenses. Don't let that become a device of the enemy. So there's one more thing that I really want to address in this study, and that is sarcasm. I am the first person to be in line for a funny joke or a hilarious Christian comedian. I love that stuff. But sarcasm can be so wounding. And we have to be careful, again, wise stewards of the things that we say, the things that we do, how we present ourselves, because sarcasm can so easily cross over into bullying and badgering and making fun. So if we're going to be sarcastic about things, don't let it be about a person's character. Don't let it be about their stature, their size, their hair color. You need to be careful that your sarcasm isn't really truly wounding someone. A good boundary to have really in this area, because I know some people, they're sarcastic, they love sarcasm, they're proud of it, they boast about it. And that's okay if you're not degrading someone else. But we have to be careful that we're not being sarcastic even about their religion, their political beliefs. I mean, really ask yourself, is it worth it for me to get a good laugh, a good chuckle, or to make somebody else laugh at the cost of someone else's feelings? Would God be pleased with that? Honestly, sarcasm can so easily cross over into verbal abuse. I'm serious. Verbal abuse. I know of people who have been severely wounded because they were raised with a parent who was severely sarcastic. They were raised with a sibling that was sarcastic. You guys, this can drive deep wounds in people. It's your responsibility, it's my responsibility to manage that and to make sure that we are not hurting people with our words, all just so that I can get a good laugh, so that I can make somebody else laugh, so I can seem like I'm the life of the party while I put others down. That is not true love. Let's remember those attributes, those things that we read in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. They all instruct and teach what love really is. And I want you to make sure that you apply those things as being a friend, but also that you require those things from someone that you allow in your life to be your friend. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video today. Never forget that God has a plan for you. He's not finished with you yet, and He loves you so much. Be blessed.